Continue with the presentation by EESL on their fans market transformation program. Please welcome Mr. Ashish Malviya, DGM EESL. Mr. Malviya is a program manager of Ujala at EESL. His responsibilities include planning, procurement, technical specifications of products and implementation. He was instrumental in the success of Ujala program. Mr. Ashish Malviya.
Very good morning to all of you, and thanks for joining this workshop. I am here today to talk to you about EESL's 10 million energy efficient fan deployment program, which we will try to deploy in next 1 year. So let's begin with some number. You already know about these numbers, and you have already heard during this inaugural session. So as you know that in total space cooling energy consumption, about 30% energy consumption is consumed by the fans. And out of this 30%, 72% is contributed by the ceiling fans. So this becomes very obvious to target this segment if you want to reduce the energy consumption in the domestic sector. So fan program is not new for EESL. We have already implemented this fan program in 2017 along with our LED bulb program. In 2017, we launched this 50-watt ceiling fan distribution program under Ujala at a very attractive price of 1110 rupees per fan, inclusive of everything. So at that point of time, this 50-watt fan was considered to be a BEE 5-star rated fans. And this 1110 rupees price, inclusive of all taxes, everything, was one of the USP of our program, and therefore we did not face any challenge regarding the demand for these fans. Later on in 2019, BEE revised the star rating, and this fan was degraded to 1 star from the 5-star, and therefore we could not scale up the program. Then the COVID period and all these things, so we had to stop the program in between. But yes, we have taken this target of deploying 10 million fans in the next 1 year. Under this 50-watt program, we had distributed 23.59 lakh induction fans across India, across all segment of consumer, like retail consumer, industrial, government, private institution, school, college, everything. As a pilot, after the revision of BEE star rating, as a pilot, we have procured 85,000 BLDC fans, and we have successfully deployed some around 80,000 fans in the states like Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Punjab, and Goa. So, coming to this 10 million fan program, like any other large-scale energy-efficient product deployment program, there are three main components of such type of program. First is the type of the product. Which type of product you would like to distribute in a mass scale? In this case, it is a fan. So which type of fan? Would it be 3-star fan, 4-star fan, or 5-star fan? What would be the operating model, and who are your target consumer? So these three factors are very important in designing in any kind of large scale energy efficient deployment program. So first we take the product type. What would be the product type under this program, whether it's a 3-star fan, 4-star fan, or 5-star fan? These are the deciding factor. What would be the price? Because the upfront cost to the consumer is very important. It's not always the efficiency, but the upfront cost to the consumer is also important. Our target is to maximize the efficiency and minimize the cost. Then the durability. फैन इज सच टाइप प्रोडक्ट की एक बार लगा दिया और फिर भूल गए, इंस्टॉल एंड फॉरगेट, बार बार वो फैन को उसमें रिपेयर मेंटेनेंस नो कंज्यूमर वुड लाइक. देन द सर्विसेबिलिटी, it should be easily repairable, and the spare parts, if required, should be easily available at the local shop. So these are the three main factors which would decide the type of the product, not only for this fan program, but if you for any kind of energy efficient large deployment program. And the if we talk about the price component, so this is the price segment which we gather from the secondary data. The fans which are below the 1500 rupees fans, so they have the largest market share of approximately 44%, followed by the standard category fans between the 1500 rupees and 2500 rupees, it's a 41%. And the premium segment fan, that is a 2500 rupees fans and above, the market share for this fan is as of now is 15% only. So we have to see this market segmentation as well while designing the program. Sorry. As I said, it's not always the efficiency, but the cost is also important. Consider a scenario. Suppose that there is a town where 1 lakh in inefficient conventional fans of say 75 watts are installed. And if we want to implement such type of efficient program in that area, so we have options. We can start with the 5-star fan, we can start with the 3-star fans. Suppose we start with the 5-star fans only in that area. Because of that price segment and because of the price tag of that 5-star fan at present, we would be able to cater only 15% of that market share. 85% still be there, the conventional fans. They will either buy the conventional fans or they will not at all replace it. We can be able to replace only 15% of the that population. So we can get some energy savings like from earlier 270 lakhs unit per annum to 242, 62. There is a reduction, but still the market is not yet transformed. Consider the scenario too, if we forget about the 5-star fan, if we deploy only the 3-star fan, because of its price, which is 30 or 40% less than the 5-star fan, we can be managed, we would be able to manage approximate 40% of penetration and see the energy saving. It is less than the, it is higher than the energy second we would get if we deploy only the 5-star fans. It's 221 units. So we have to see the economics also, because if we only think about, okay, we will deploy 5-star or so highest efficiency fans, but fan जब कोई खरीदेगा और घर में लगाएगा सेविंग तभी आएगी. सो फैन कोई खरीदे इसके लिए हमें वो मार्केट डायनामिक्स एंड इकोनॉमिक्स भी देखना पड़ेगा. एंड इफ वी गो फॉर द मिक्स अप्रोच लाइक combination of 3-star fan, 4-star fan, 5-star fan, then that market transformation would become much easier. And this is the graph. If we this graph is very important because अगर आप star rating increase करते हैं और जो cost है, cost भी अगर आपकी linearly increase होती है, for example, the incremental benefit the consumer gets from shifting from 3-star to 4-star or 4-star to 5-star, and the cost he or she is paying for that incremental benefit is in sync with the energy saving, then it is okay. But because of the technological change, if that price is exponentially high, in case of fans, it is happening at present because up to the 3-star there is an induction fan technology. But if you go beyond the 3-star, there is the BLDC technology. And because of the important electronic components, magnets, the price is just almost in some cases double the price of the conventional fan. So this is also important aspects while designing the program or the strategy for the designing such type of program. So we have decided for this 10 million fan program, we will keep in our bucket 3-star fan as well and the 5-star fans as well to start with. 3-star fan is typically the service value is between 5 to 5.5 and 5-star is greater than 6. 3-star is typically induction fan with 40 to 45 watts. Advantage of induction fans, we all know it's long life, robust, no electronics is required, service and repair is easy and it can be done by the local repair shop. Price range is about approximately 17 to 1900. 5-star, highly efficient fans, built-in speed control. Disadvantage, dependency on the important electronic magnets. Service and repair is an issue. Sensitive to voltage fluctuation, moisture, temperature, and the price is higher than the 3-star fans. 4-star fans, this category is like no induction motor fans available in 4-star, or जो available भी है वो less efficient BLDC fan है, so better go for the 5-star fan. So in this program, we will start with 3-star, a combination in some certain ratio of 3-star fans and 5-star fans. This is the typical specification, not the detail. Detail you will get in our tender specification. The sweep size 1200 mm, minimum air delivery 220 cmm, wattage range for 3-star, 5-star. You can calculate from the service value of the star rating. Warranty 3 years. Our target consumer for this program would be the large PSUs, the corporates, the school, colleges, hospital, CPWD, defense, Department of Post, retail consumer. So we will cover each and every segment under this our model. Operating model, the business model, though I will not disclose much here, but we will make these fans available in online mart, physical shops. We will sell these fans to retail consumer or to institutional consumer through discoms under their DSM program, and in distribution rural area through self-help group. Any other business model can be think of. And one important point here is that the GST, which is 18% at present on this ceiling fan, GST is a cost to the retail consumer, but for institutional consumer, they can take the credit of the GST, and therefore this GST component is not a cost for them. So we can think of cross-subsidize, for example, if we can, because ultimately GST of that 18% is not a cost to the institutional consumer. So we can think of loading some 100 or 200 rupees on the fans which we are supplying to the institutional consumer and reducing the burden on the retail consumer. So just an idea we can think of during the program design. Some of the program highlights is we will deploy this 10 million fan in collaboration with the Shakti Foundation, CLASP, Clean Cooling Collaborative, and AEEE. We will soon start the procurement for this 10 million fans in a phase-wise manner from the next month onwards. As I said, we will keep 3-star as well as 5-star both type of fan to the start with, and we anticipate price reduction, especially in BLDC fans, which is a 5-star fan at present, due to our bulk procurement. And for this order receive material delivery and to manage this large scale program, we will use one software just to ease life of everyone, all the stakeholder. And we will ensure the timely payment to our supplier. Expectation from stakeholder, yes, we have some expectation from the policymaker. If we can help like GST reduction from 18 to 5% justice reduction on the 5-star rated fans. Then sale of non-star rated fans in the market. Still, though the fans come under the mandatory regime of the BW star rating, but still the sale of non-star rated fans are happening in the market. So some awareness of the MSME suppliers, consumer is required. From the supplier, we request you participate in our tender, provide a good quality product, and maintain the service, which is one of the most important criteria. Maintain the service during the warranty period. If we would be able to achieve this number, this is the mathematics, we would be able to save the energy of 13-16 million units, awarded peak demand of 60 megawatt, and monetary saving of 680 crore rupees. So this is the highlight of our program. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ashish Malviya, for the presentation on FANS Market Transformation Program. Thank you for sharing the numbers and the journey of the FANS transformation market and the program highlights. Well, rightly said, the biggest challenge of our times is definitely how to manage sustainability along with profitability. Ladies and gentlemen, moving forward, we have two very engaging panel discussions today. That is lined up for all of you today. The first panel will discuss on strengthening the fan supply chain and emerging as a global fan manufacturer. Moderating this panel will be Ms. Neha Dhingra, Senior Manager, CLASP. And please join me in welcoming our esteemed panelists for this session. Ms. Pravati Samal, Director BEE, Mr. Ravindra Gambhir from Havells, Mr. Pramod Singh from AEEE, Mr. Pradeep Kumar from Orient, Mr. Shashank Kumar from Halonix, and also Mr. Ashish Mahajan from EESL. I also request Mr. Ashish Jindal to kindly join us from NRDC. Thank you. So over to our esteemed panel and our session moderator, Ms. Neha Dhingra. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Very good, warm good morning to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for this panel discussion. Today we are joined by a very diverse set of panelists where we have representation from the government, industry, as well as civil society organizations. In the inaugural panel, we heard about, some of the facts I'm just restating. We heard that every year there's sale of 6 crore fans, out of which only 3% people are using energy efficient fans. And the ratio is highly skewed. And now here we are here today to discuss how do we increase the sales of as well as deployment of energy efficient fans in the market. Before we start, I would like to request each of the panelists to please take a minute and introduce themselves. I just thought that's slightly easier rather than me reading their bios. So ma'am, would you like to start first?
Good morning. So good morning, all of you. My name is Pravati Samal, and I am working as a director in Bureau of Energy Efficiency, and I look after standards and labeling program from last 2 years. Before that, I was involved in, as Mr. Deore mentioned, DSM programs, PAT, and all those schemes. So now my focus is on appliance energy efficiency program. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning all. My name is Ashish Malviya. I am DGM in EESL and looking after the Ujala program, which includes the distribution of energy efficient domestic appliances like LED bulb, tube lights, fans, etc.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ravinder Gambhir. I am looking after R&D at Havells India Limited. I am representing Havells here. I am also representing IFMA. I am heading Technical Committee of Indian Fans Manufacturers Association. Thank you.
Hello everyone, good morning. My name is Shashank Kumar. I am leading the product design for energy efficient products in Halonix Technologies Private Limited, and I am representing Halonix here.
Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Ashi Jindal. I am leading energy efficiency and cooling work at NRDC India. And before that, I had worked with ADB, EESL, and many organizations around energy efficiency. Looking forward for this discussion. Thank you.
Hi, this is Pradeep Kumar. I am from Fans R&D, Orient. And already we have successfully implemented energy efficient fans as per the Government of India requirements. And now also we are planning like we will be able to deliver fans as per the EESL requirements. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Pramod Singh, and I represent Alliance for an Energy Efficient Economy, or AEEE. We promote responsible use of energy. That's the organization mandate. I've been working in the sector for 17 years now. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for the brief introduction. As we heard in the morning, that all the elements for efficient fans deployment exist. We have the policy, and we are grateful to BEE for mandating the policy for energy efficiency, efficient fans. We have the market transformation program, which is launched by EESL. And I also heard from Mr. Ashish that EESL has been working in the past also for promoting deployment of efficient fans. And then we heard a lot of stats and facts about the star labeled products and their penetration, like whether it's more in 3-star, 4 or versus 5-star. I would like to ask a question to Ms. Pravati. about the penetration of star-labeled fans. Like, what is the actual situation in the market? How is the market kind of scattered across various star labels for ceiling fans?
Thanks, Neha. As it was discussed in the morning, and Mr. Vishal has given all the information regarding the fan market. So I am not going into all the details. Only thing is that as far as B is concerned, it was a long journey for the fan industry from B's perspective. It was introduced in 2008 under a voluntary regime, but it actually taken about 15 years of time to make it mandatory, because as you know, the fan industry is the higher category is in inorganized sector rather than organized sector. So for a segment like fan, it took us a long time to make it mandatory. So before that, in the voluntary phase, the participation was not very encouraging. It was only about 3 million, I can say 3 to 4 million registration under B star labeling program. But after so many restrictions, so many challenges, we could do it, and we could make it possible with the help of the association. And of course, CLASP has a great contribution in that for providing technical support always. And then all the manufacturer also, that we didn't, not so many registrants from the manufacturers, but yes, from the unorganized sector, there are some restrictions. So I would like to thank IFMA for that they support B in this endeavor. And so for the penetration, I can say earlier it was about 1%, 3 million only, and now it's about 15.5 million within the span of only July we made it mandatory, and from January actually they started registration, and now we are at June. So May, January, February, March, April. So within the 4 to 5 months, so we have reached about 15.5 million registered star label fan. So this is the kind of progress we have made in fan segment. Thank you, Neha.
Thank you. I have one follow-up question. Do we have the data, or can we share the data on different star rating bands? Like what segment is most represented? Is it like 5-star, 3-star, 4-star? Do we know that at this point?
Okay. Sure. So as I mentioned, when it was under voluntary program, the participation was only 1 star. And 99% fan was falling under 1 star only. And as most of the sectors are unorganized, so I cannot say, only if I can make a comment why the fan industry was not interested to make other kind of stars, and there are only, what of the small segment registered under SNL program, only 1 star was there. So that time we got the information that there is some kind of, for the 5 other kind of stars, there's a huge investment, and price difference would be there for the higher category of stars. But when we made it mandatory, we saw that there is a huge jump from 1 star to 5 star. So till 2019, the 1 star was very prominent. It was like 80% above and 90% above. But now I can say the 5-star segment is increasing, and now all the big manufacturers, they are actually jumping from induction fan to BLDC fans. So the percentage of 5-star fans increasing in the fan industry, and now about 12% 5-star rated fans are available under our registration process. So it will be increasing in near future. Thank you.
My next question is to the industry colleagues. Now we have BEE's labeling program, and with EESL also launching its market transformation program, where they are trying to kind of increase the penetration for higher efficiency, which is 3 to 5 star, as Mr. Malviya just presented. I wanted to understand a little bit about the readiness of the industry and the supply chain for producing higher efficiency category of fans. So any of you would like to take?
As ma'am mentioned, the star rating has already become mandatory from July, but because the manufacturers were carrying a lot of stocks of non-star rated fans, finished good and also the raw materials. But now from 1st of January, I think it has become mandatory for most of the sweeps, for the mostly sweeps, I mean, which are sold. So from 1st of January, I can tell to everyone that 95% of the fans are produced in star rating only. 5% of the fans which are in lower sweeps. So the quantity is not very high. So we have requested BE to make those smaller sweeps which are not mentioned in BIS to make mandatory. But now BIS has also included those sweeps in the standard. And from 1st of January 2024, 100% of the ceiling fans would become mandatory under BE. So the supply, as you mentioned, is not an issue for the manufacturer. So as far as the induction fans are concerned, there is no challenge at all, and industry has already shifted from non-star rated to star rated fans. But for BLDC, yes, there are some challenges as mentioned by in the morning. So there are challenges regarding the permanent magnets. As we know, the magnets are being imported from China, and so there is some supply-related issue in the drivers also. So there were some quality issues also earlier. You know, the quality of the controller was not that robust. So because of the the voltage supply conditions in India, so there were a lot of complaints in BLDC fans. But now, so every manufacturer is learning and improving the quality of drivers. Now the quality of BLDC fans is much better than the earlier. So the penetration of BLDC fans will also increase, as mentioned by ma'am. And with one survey also, more than 10% of the ceiling fans are now 5-star, which are sold, not registered, which are actually sold in the market. And as per the one survey, 30% of the new model launched in India are now in 5-star rated BLDC fans. So penetration of BLDC fans is increasing, but I would also like to tell one interesting fact. So once we switched from non-star rated fans to star rated, even 1-star fan is 33% more efficient than a non-star rated fans. So because the customer is very smart nowadays. So 33% energy efficiency has already happened once a customer switches from non-star rated fans to 1-star rated fans. And what is the incremental cost to the customer? Only 200 rupees. But once you switch from 1-star to 5-star fans, there is further 30% efficiency, but the incremental cost is very high. It becomes almost double. So ROI on BLDC fans as of now is low, but yes, there is one advantage with BLDC fans also. It comes with the remote control, so there is a convenience also. So it is now a customer choice. So as manufacturers, we are giving all the options to the customer. We have 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, and 5-star fans. So as the demand increase, manufacturers are fully geared up to enhance the capacity. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anybody else from the industry like to respond to that question?
Hello. Like as Ravinder sir has mentioned, so that is very true. Earlier, like we were pushing our BLDC fans, but that time volumes were not increasing. But now, if we will see after this implementation from 1st Jan 2023, this BE norms, now these volumes are drastically increasing. Now we are able to increase this volume up to 20%. If we talk about like the major players, so that is the current scenario. And what we are planning, so hopefully in the next year it will increase up to 30%. So that way we will be able to implement these 5-star fans like very quickly, and like we can say like the volume of the energy efficiency fans will increase. Second thing, we are talking about the cost. Like if we will go from the 1-star to 5-star fan, then the cost is increasing drastically. But now there is one more concern. If we talk about the magnets, if we talk about our controllers, microcontroller manufacturers. So earlier they were concerned that our volumes were very low. Now as the volumes are increasing, so controller cost is also drastically decreasing. So in that way, the gap, earlier it was like between the 1-star and 5-star, major cost was of the controllers. Now that cost is reducing. Second thing is, earlier the volumes were less for the BLDC. So that's why we were just depending on the China or some Taiwan for the magnet. Now in India also, so many new magnet manufacturers are coming, and we are able to localize our magnet, and even we are able to localize controllers also. So in that way, we will be able to reduce this cost also. So like in my opinion, in next by 2025, we will be able to increase this volume up to 50% for the BLDC fans. Second thing regarding 1-star fan, 2-star fan, in that direction, initially like industry was working for the 1-star only, because the challenge was the customer acceptance and all that. Now, once it has been implemented, so even we are able to optimize that 1-star up to 2 or 3-star also in the same cost. Because earlier, every manufacturer was thinking like there is lot of variations are there, and earlier we were using conventional fans. So in the conventional fans, there was no restrictions of service value and all that. So every tolerance, every specification was manageable. Now we are much concerned about the specification. It should meet the specification in the market also. So that's why earlier the fans were launched in the 1-star only. Now slowly we are getting the confidence from the market. Now all the manufacturers has launched so many fans in the market. So now we will be able to achieve these 2-3 stars in induction fans easily in the nominal cost also. So yeah.
So I would like to add something. So basically the reason behind making this BLDC fan is very low is the problem facing from the driver side, how to repair the BLDC fan and all. So now the industry is moving on the mechanism like drivers is fitting upward the motor, and that is very easy to repair and all. So industry is moving on that side also. So repairing is easy, not that much difficult.
Thank you so much for sharing industry's perspective, and that kind of addresses the supply side of challenge. But if we have to deploy 10 million fans that EESL is talking about, we have to also look at the demand side, like where is the demand coming from and how do we aggregate the demand? So my next question is to Pramod. AEEE has been working a lot to kind of aggregate the demand. Could you list out some of the measures that we could adopt so as to aggregate the demand, which could then cater to the supply, and then we kind of increase the deployment?
Thanks, Neha. I think a part of that question has been answered by Mr. Malviya in his presentation, where he mentioned that to begin with, the program can look at some of the large institutional customers like PSUs, education institutes. We can take it to the next level and talk about, as part of, for example, the education sector, whether the focus is going to be on large universities, primary schools, high schools. So that kind of a detailing can be done. But instead of doing that, because I know that in the next panel we also have representatives from UP NEDA and perhaps from the Rajasthan government who can talk about it. I'd like to share a few numbers. Of course, since morning we have been talking about a lot of numbers, but just few additional numbers or metrics that we can keep in mind while we are talking about the demand. So today, the average power purchase cost of India is close to 5 rupees. The average cost of supply, that includes power cost plus network cost, is around 6.5 rupees. Contrary to these two numbers, if we talk about what is the cost of conserving electricity from ceiling fan, It's less than 1 rupee. And it's between 50 paisa to 1 rupee when we talk about the premium energy efficient fan or 5-star fan. When it comes to 1-star or 3-star fan, the cost of conserving electricity will be even lower. So with the numbers in mind, how can we think about what kind of demand aggregation strategies as a country we could think of? So let us look at discoms, who are one of the largest customers, if I say so. And in the morning, we heard Mr. Devre talking about BE's initiative on demand side management. He also referred to the funds that are available with discoms. So on one hand, if discoms have to buy electricity at 4.5, 5 rupees, add their network cost, and the supply cost becomes 6, 7 rupees then, versus there is a cost of acquiring electricity savings, which costs not even 1 rupee. Discoms itself become one of the largest customers to purchase the fans. If we also look at what are the trends emerging in different states, and that trend is quite dangerous for energy efficiency. We are hearing as part of every election, states are giving 100 units, 200 units, 300 units of free electricity. Let's take 100 rupees or 100 units as the free electricity given. It translates to almost 600 rupees in monetary terms per month. It translates to 7,200 rupees per year of subsidy. So instead of giving revenue subsidy, can states think about a mechanism that they start giving out, let's say, fans at a heavily discounted rate, or even for free? 7,200 rupees per year can support 3 premium energy efficient fans. So that's the kind of discourse we should start talking about, and as a civil society, that's the kind of discussion we are having with different states. So discoms can become one of the largest demand centers. We don't have to think about the entire, complication of to which customer category we should be giving 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 300 rupees of subsidy. The other advantage would be, if we think this kind of a structure, one can also bring SMEs as part of the supply system. So whenever we talk about demand aggregation, whenever we talk about incentives, we keep the end customers in mind. Another efficient way of giving that capital or incentive is to focus at the upstream segment. Same rupee will have a higher efficiency or effectiveness if that incentive is given to the upstream players. And the benefits will automatically trickle down to the customers. So what I'm saying, that one of the ways to create demand could be to identify some of those manufacturers or upstream players, bring that as part of the eco-manufacturing policy, ask them to set up production systems which will cater to this 3-star or 5-star kind of products. Design your procurement mechanism which will give them a guarantee of offtake, and that will create a demand in itself. So thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, Pramod, for laying that out, and thanks for touching upon the SME part, because that's going to be my next question. My next question is for Ashish Jindal. Ashish, Pramod touched upon SME bit. Would you like to throw more light upon what more can be done to bring in SME players into the fold of efficiency?
Sure, thanks Neha, and thanks Pramod for highlighting the various, you can say, ways of demand aggregation. One I just would like to add before adding to Neha's point. I think SDA is going to be also very critical apart from large institutional consumer. SDA take care of colleges, schools, government hospitals, lot of those things. And I think they are also the body under Bureau of Energy Efficiency. So their role in promoting and actually deploying is going to be also crucial. Now coming to especially about the supply chain, I would like to break down the BLDC into various components. So as we know that BLDC includes stator, your magnet, BLDC controller, your, you can say, blade fans and all. Two components which also highlighted during the day was magnet and BLDC controller. These are import based. These are, you can say, also touched SME because ultimately they don't have the capacity, right? We don't have the supply chain security to manage it. Now, how we will do it is, right, we as an NRDC, we are working on a technology roadmap where basically we are understanding the industry needs. So industry needs means like what exactly, if for example, we know India Kuni Action Plan, it lays down a vision of 2037 with certain reduction. And ceiling fan is also an important component. And we are seeing Bureau of Energy Efficiency leadership in bringing, you can say, very competitive service value, EESL coming with a market demand program. We need basically solutions around it. And that's what we want to try to bring them. I want to lay down 2-3 major challenges which we understood, and I think maybe we'll discuss and hear more from the industry around it. So one is broadly around, for example, if we talk to chip manufacturers and we talk to the component manufacturer, they feel there is, you can say, always a pressure from the industry that we want tomorrow. We want a controller tomorrow, and there is a sudden surge in the, you can say, demand. So if these programs like EESL with certain sort of a, you can say, a guidance that this is the need, the supply chain can be secured in a very, you can say, very good manner. That is number one. Similarly, it can be lead to more of, you can say, infrastructure inbuilt in the country because more investment will come. Secondly, coming to the solutions, like I still want to hear about this, is about the regulator. What I know from earlier, you can say we used to have 80 watt, 75 watt a fan. They used to have regulator, which is having certain capacitance value. Now with new fan like 50 watt, I'll not call BLDC, but they are not coming with the regulator, right? Now because of this, the existing regulator, if you go to a lower speed, right, they not able to give you that required air value, the air draft. So that is also one of the concern we came to know. And third is around the, you can say, on the power factor and total harmonic distortion. We came to know that TSD is 20% and PF is 0.9. Because of this, industry is using SMPS. And SMPS is leading to certain inefficiency in the overall output of power. So maybe we need to look how we design the specification, how we design basically the quality in the system so that consumer, as we know, the earlier fan is used to run for 30 years, 25 years. It will happen same for the BLDC fan. Thank you.
So, I mean, I think there is a question for the industry representatives, but before we get there, I just want to get to Mr. Malviya, because EESL has already worked on fans market transformation program, and they're launching another one now. So I just want to understand from you if there are any key learnings or challenges that you faced, like if you'd like to highlight top 2 or 3 challenges or learnings from the program in the past, and then we can kind of delve further on how do we address them in this one.
So as I presented, we started this ceiling fan program in 2017 with induction fan, and literally we did not face any challenges with regard to the service or the any complaint from the consumer, because you know that this induction technology is very proven technology. We are seeing these fans are running since ages 15-20 years. But when we launched this BLDC program as a pilot only, the ratio of the complaint as compared to the induction fans was more, and we discussed this with the suppliers, with the industry, and we found that the technology is not yet matured, and there is some problem with the compatibility of the house wiring also. But as a program implementer, I would like to say that if you want to sell your product, you have to make your electronics and the drivers very robust, which can be compatible to the existing house wiring. Nobody would like to change their house wiring just to buy your fans. 2 days ago, I was in a conference, and one of the best brands was telling that our fans are the best, and the problem is from the consumer wiring side. So that is okay, but you have to see the practicality. no one would like to replace their house wiring just to buy your fans when the other options are available. When with the existing wiring, they are using the same induction fans from the long. So why would anybody would like to just replace their wiring? So you have to work on this, the designing or the engineering. If BLDC is the only solution for the 5-star rated fan, then you have to make that fans robust as compared to this induction motor fans. So these are the one of the major learning which we have learned, that serviceability and the durability of the star rated fans is required from the vendor side. And I also met one gentleman here who is claiming that this service value of 5-star rated fan is also possible in induction fans. So we are not against any technology, or we are not in a favor of any technology. We are only concerned about the efficiency. So you have to also work if the similar kind of efficiency can be achieved in other technology which are robust. Then we can definitely promote the promote the efficiency through these fans in a much better manner.
So there are two questions for industry now, one coming from Ashish, where the issue of OEMs comes up, and then the second question is from Mr. Malviya, where he's talking about the readiness of BLDC as well as the serviceability issue. So, yeah.
So first, I would like to answer what Ashish Jindal had asked. So regarding this regulator compatibility, yes, there were some issues earlier, but now as we have entered into mandatory regime, so I don't think 1, 2 and 3 star does not have any issue of regulator compatibility. All the major regulator brands available in India, we have tested our fans. Those are compatible with regulator. So, and there is no problem in the speed regulation at different steps. So as far as the BLDC is concerned, so initially BLDC fans were available with remote control only, but with the new technology, I think all the manufacturers are coming up with BLDC fans which are compatible with regulators. So as Havells, I would like to tell everyone that we have tested more than 25 brands of regulator with our BLDC fans, and it is absolutely fine. So lot of queries are coming from the institutional buyers, because in school, colleges, hospitals, nobody would like to have a BLDC fan which runs with the remote control. Everybody would like to have a fan which is compatible with the regulator, which is installed in the classrooms or the labs. So with the advancement of technology, so manufacturers are coming up with BLDC fans. So regulator compatibility, I assure you, will not be an issue going forward. But yes, we are giving choice to the customers. So in households, many people want fans which are compatible with remote control. So we are giving both the options to the customer. If somebody wants remote control fan, it is available. If somebody wants regulator compatible fans, these are also available now. So the quantities are also increasing day by day. So second question was regarding the wiring, I think. So wiring, I would like to tell everyone that there is no problem in the wiring. Your existing wiring is very much suitable for BLDC fans. You don't have to change the wiring. But only there are some issues related to regulator. So most of the issues which we are, as a manufacturers are facing. So when a customer is using a BLDC fan with remote control, he is not disconnecting the regulator. So problem comes when you are operating the fan both with regulator as well as with remote control. So we are giving instructions on our packaging. We are having many educational programs also. And we are requesting the service technicians to disconnect the regulator if customer is having a BLDC fan with the remote control. Or if customer doesn't want to disconnect, at least keep it at the full speed so that regulator is bypassed. But sometimes what happens is, if some guest comes at a customer end, he is not aware that this fan is with remote control. So he tries to regulate the speed with the regulator. Here the problem comes. So as manufacturers, we are giving many educational programs. In IFMA also, you would see a lot of educational videos on the social media. I would request everyone to follow IFMA, Indian Fans Manufacturer Association LinkedIn page. We are available on LinkedIn, Facebook. So you would see a lot of educational videos coming. We are trying to educate the customers regarding the energy efficiencies and different star rated fans, more star, more savings. And plus, we are having a lot of quiz also, so that customer becomes aware that, what are the benefits of energy efficient fans. So industry is doing a lot of things to promote all these star rated fans. And now, since we don't have any options, it has already become mandatory. So energy efficiency, the volume will also come. And as far as the BLDC is concerned, I am sure this availability of magnets and chips will also improve in India. Magnets, I have some issues regarding, because we are still coming from magnets, but chips, I think a lot of EMS are coming in India, so capacities are building. So I don't see any challenge here. In 5 years, I am not very surprised if the BLDC becomes 50% of the total ceiling fans. So we are all gearing up, there is no issue.
Okay, thank you. Ceiling fans is, one part of the puzzle, but there are other types of fans as well, which consume a lot of energy. I would like to request Ms. Samal to kind of shed some light on BE's labeling program for the other types of fans, which has just come up.
Yes, Neha. So recently, as it was already informed during the morning session that we have introduced other kinds of fans available in the market, like table fan, wall-mounted fan, and pedestal fan. So these three category of fans were left out, and these fans actually it's not a small number. If you go to the village, rural area, most of our village people, they use ceiling, these table fans and pedestal fans. And in the office spaces nowadays, people are using wall-mounted fans. So these three category actually contribute about 15% of the total fan industry. So then we decided why to left out this segment. So we already included these three category under voluntary program from March 2023. And we have given some time to the manufacturers so that within 2 to 3 years period we can upgrade their performance, and then we can think of making these fans mandatory. So now we have kept the performance value little bit liberal. So after 2 to 3 years, we will see the market transformation, and then we can actually decide what should be the next next phase of performance standard, and we can tighten the standards, and at the same time we can make it mandatory. Thank you, Neha.
Thank you. We have a lot of experts in the audience, but before I open it up to everybody for a question, I would like to request my colleague Mr. Mukherjee, who's been working very closely with the industry, BE and BIS, to have some, to kind of share his comments and views on some of the issues that are being discussed here.
Thank you, Neha ji. I have a lot of friends, my members from BIS committee. What I want to say that the fan standard which BE is following, it needs a lot of improvement. Okay, so we are not still at par with the international standards. The standard is still based on old and IC standards, and I think that should be our first objective, that we should try to align our standards with the latest IC standards. One major difference is that, we have been struggling. If you ask me that ceiling fan standards were first published in 1951, 374. So there has been no further changes in so far as the performance value is concerned. And we have been struggling with the fixing of the air delivery value in all the meetings. It was all revolving around 200 or 210 or 220. I remember that CPWD, the chief engineer used to be the chairperson of the committee. He said that what sort of standards we are making when consumer doesn't get the proper air delivery. So let us increase it to 220. But what happened? That power consumption used to increase. So the difficulty was that in standards, we had 3 requirements which were not very easy to comply with. You cannot have all the 3 fixed components for compliance. It was service delivery, which was a minimum requirement. You have the power consumption, with the maximum requirement. If the air delivery was the minimum requirement. So then what we decided, that let us dispense with the power consumption, because we have the service value which is really determines the efficiency. So the manufacturer has got the liberty to design the fan in such a way so that they can play with the power consumption, so that ultimate service value, which is actually the, the intention of the fan efficiency, that could be fulfilled. That is one thing. Secondly, and we have been struggling about that, the fan is a seasonal items, but when it goes for the, testing in an independent lab, it might be at the winter season or other season. So what happens that temperature, humidity and pressure, that can play very important role in actually the testing of the product. So till now, BIS standard does not talk about the temperature, humidity and air pressure. IC has that, so I think that will be another one step that we can go forward. Secondly, when we are developing this revising the standard in 2018, rather it started in 2016. So one challenge was that time BLDC fans was just emerging and the market was expanding. So there was no requirement for BLDC in the standard. So the manufacturer said, okay, let us do at least to start with, put some requirement on the THD, total harmonic distortion. So what could be the value? Say 20% limit was set, put there. Beyond that, the standard does not take anything which is specific to the BLDC. But definitely the time has come. In the BLDC, production increases and the volume increases. Then we'll have to take into consideration that quality of the magnet, quality of the control and all these things. So I think because it is just the beginning, so and it's learning also. So it is high time that, say, with the next 2 to 3 years, we'll have to take care of the BLDC quality, because it should not so happen that, like we experienced in the case of CFL. There was a big market in CFL that the failure rate was so high. So we have to make the standard very, very strong. So definitely the time is there, now time is right that we should now focus, the BIS should focus on, of course, I am also a member of the committee, and our distinguished guests from the manufacturing side, they are also a member of the committee. We'll work very, very hard to see to it that a standard is very robust and BLDC can have a very longer life and efficient one. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing your perspective on the standards, sir. I think it's very useful for the industry as well as the government. I'd like to open it up to audience for questions and comments, because we have a lot of experts and I see a lot of hands raised. Okay, so I'll start with Dhruvak first. Yeah.
Hi, thank you for a very interesting discussion. I'm Dhruvak from the Council on Energy, Environment and Water. Mr. Gambhir, I just want to say that I'm an ardent follower of IFMA on Twitter, and I keep interacting with the quizzes and everything. So great going on consumer engagement on that front. I have two questions. So one is, right now, something that Mr. Malviya also touched on. Right now, the discussion seems to be a binary between BLDC and induction motor, a better induction motor design, but still an induction motor based design. So is there any outlook on alternative technologies in this space as well? And the second question is, right now the conventional fan that we have is pretty standardized. You get a capacitor if it goes bad from the market and you replace it. Is that level of standardization possible with BLDC fans? Because there's so much electronics involved and different brands might have different designs for their boards. And if yes, do we need a standard for that? And if no, then how do we address the serviceability part? Because in rural areas and semi-urban areas, it might still be a challenge for consumers to locate a specific brand's service technician and get them to replace your controller. So your response to that, thanks.
Yeah, thank you for your question. So your first question was regarding the alternate technology. So as I mentioned, so induction motor is already there. It is a very, very robust motor. So in induction motor, the fans are available from 1, 2, 3 star. And now some of the manufacturers are even coming up with 4-star for fans also in the induction. And as you mentioned, so induction motor is a very, very robust motor. But in BLDC, yes, there are some challenges regarding the controller. But standardization of controller, I have some doubts, because every manufacturer has its own motor design, and the design of the controller is based on the motor. So standardization of controller or driver, I see some issue in that. But as far as the serviceability is concerned, I think all the major manufacturers are having their service networks across India. So servicing is not a problem. So as we change the capacitor, if something goes wrong in the controller, so nobody repairs the controller, it has to be replaced only. So standard controllers are available with all the service branches. If I talk about Havells, so we provide service within 24 hours. If something goes wrong in the controller, so controller is replaced, it is not repaired. So as I mentioned, the quality of the controller is also now improving. It is becoming more and more robust now. So I will give you one example. In air conditioner, so when there was a fixed speed air conditioners, so people were having a lot of apprehension, in the inverter ACs. So there were issues with the controller also. A lot of complaints were coming. Now I think we all have ACs in our house. Inverter ACs are becoming more and more popular. And with the same voltage fluctuations and harmonics in India, the same inverter ACs are working very fine. The same thing will happen with the controller for fans also. So it's a learning curve. All the manufacturers are improving the quality of the controllers. So I don't see any challenge going forward in the BLDC fans also. Hope I answer your questions. Yeah, other technology, yes, there are some other technologies also coming. So there's some new technology called SRM motor also. People are working on that technology also. So as as the need comes now, more and more technology, in SRM motor you don't need a permanent magnet. So it is magnetless motor. But yes, there is more dependency on the electronics. So there are advantages and disadvantages of all the technology. So but yes, more and more technologies are coming. So as the BE makes the standard more robust, I think new technologies will keep on coming.
Just to add, Mr. Gambhir, that why everybody is talking about BLDC. So why should we talk about BLDC? BLDC is just a technology. We should talk about 5-star energy efficient fans. Because today we are talking about BLDC. Maybe after 5 years, some other technology is there, and BLDC is 1-star fan, and that technology is 5-star fan. So we should not focus on BLDC, we should focus on the energy efficient fans. And another input is there. I was just listening to EESL's presentation, where I just saw that your major focus on 3-star rated fan rather than 5-star rated fan. So that is one of my suggestion to EESL, that at this stage we should not focus on 3-star rated fan, because we should move forward, and our major intention, what is our intention, should bring down the cost of the 5-star rated fan. Because since the market is changing from 1-star, means the induction, to BLDC, the new technology, and the cost difference is very high. So that's the actually barrier we are facing from the consumer point of view. And so I would like to request EESL that 3-star fan idea, they should drop out, and they should only focus on 5-star rated fan, so that in next 2 to 3 years, at least that segment we should cover, and the cost of that 5-star rated fan should reduce, so that the common consumer can afford to buy a 5-star rated fan. So that is my first input. And another challenge we are going to face in this fan segment from EESL side, that this is just not like a LED bulb or like AC, because I am talking about, I'm talking as a consumer, I'm talking as a audience. If you ask me, I can easily change my bulb in my house. And for AC, if AC is inefficient, it is actually pinching my pocket, so I have to change the AC. But if we talk about a fan, it's actually emotionally we are attached. So that is the biggest challenge in the rural segment you will be facing, because I will give an example. In my house, earlier days, fan was a luxury item for the rural household. When we were at our childhood, my mother had bought a ceiling fan, and now it's been 30 to 35 years, I think, 30 years, and the fan is still running, and we have not changed that fan. So this is the kind of emotions of the rural segment and the common consumer actually attached with the ceiling fan, because the cost is not, does not matter. So that is the kind of challenge we are going to face in the fan segment, that ESL should actually link the emotional thing with the fan, because the common consumer, why the common consumer is going to change the fan, because it's just a 1200 rupees or 1500 rupees, matter of 1500 rupees. So that is, we have to think about critically how we can attract the rural segment and the emotional challenge we can overcome of the common consumer. So that I am not talking as a B official, I am talking as a common consumer. Thank you.
That kind of sets the tone and for discussion, and Bansi, you should take that, some of these points into consideration for the next session. Sir, do you?
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. It's an excellent presentation. My name is Manoj Khat, and I represent AMCA here in India. Sorry. I represent AMCA in India. My question comes to the industry who are manufacturers of BLDC fans. As you know, in India, we are now trying to slightly gear up the AC temperature which you use inside your house. We are asking people to be about 24 degree. Now here there is a consumer who is using BLDC fan and who wants to switch off the air conditioner after the cooling is achieved in his room, say 25, 26 or 27, whatever he sets. Is it possible to incorporate a sensor into the BLDC motor wherein it can sense the temperature of the room and then automatically switch on? Because either the consumer has to wake up at night and then switch on. So that's my suggestion to the industry. Is it possible to incorporate so that overall, as a consumer, can achieve lower power consumption, saving on the energy side also and saving on the BLDC side? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Very good suggestion. And I would like to tell you that this is already available in one of the Havells fans. This technology, we call it as Smart Sense. It is available. You can buy from the from online also. So we have already launched that fan last year. So this is a very good suggestion, and I think it saves a lot of energy. So if you set a certain temperature on AC, once that temperature is reached, the fan will automatically keep on reducing its speeds. You don't need regulator or remote for that. It will sense the temperature and adjust its speed automatically. So this is already there, and you will see more and more fans coming up in future. Yeah.
Well, we can just take like 2 final questions, and we have one here, and well, that's a tough one. So whoever gets the mic, I guess.
एक्चुअली मैं मॉर्निंग से ही देख रहा हूँ कि मतलब सारे लोग BLDC के बहुत सारे डिसएडवांटेजेस बता रहे हैं, स्टिल दे आर प्रमोटिंग BLDC ओनली वाई. See, already we have developed induction ceiling fan with 5-star rated, and when we have reached up to 22 watt of induction motor ceiling fan, then why you are promoting BLDC means with lot of disadvantages?
Well, I think that's a question for the industry.
Actually, if you will see, BLDC is not a new technology. If you will see in other applications like refrigerator, air conditioners, already they have adapted this technology. But you know, they are little a mature market like refrigerator or like we can say home appliances. But in the fan, earlier it was like a basic product. So now we are adding this technology in the BLDC fans, like if you will see in the fans also, we are using this BLDC motor from last 10 years, 10, 12 years. But now it's this quantity is increasing, and if you will see the service network and our technician base level, so that is not that much mature in the fan industry, that is already available in the appliances. So that way we are talking about ki, okay, now the challenges are coming, but it's not like that ki it's a like there is some constraint in the technology. So slowly all the things will be resolved, and VLDC is a good technology, and it's already in India from last 25 years.
इसी से बेटर मतलब इंडक्शन ही है, तो फिर मतलब हम लोग इंडक्शन में उससे बेटर एफिशिएंसी पा रहे हैं, तो आप BLDC पे ही क्यों जा रहे हैं?
नहीं, देखिए इंडक्शन का क्या है कि इंडक्शन BLDC से बेटर एफिशिएंसी नहीं दे पाता है। यदि
हमारे पास 22 वाट का इंडक्शन मोटर है सीलिंग फैन विद सेम एफिशिएंसी, 22 वाट तो BLDC भी किसी के पास नहीं है। BLDC हमारे पास 18 वाट का है, आप प्रमोट करेंगे?
हाँ नहीं, बिल्कुल करेंगे।
मैं तो 1 साल से स्ट्रगल कर रहा हूँ, BE को कितने बार मैसेज भेजा हूँ, EESL को कितने बार मैसेज भेजा हूँ।
10 मिलियन का प्रोक्योरमेंट प्रोग्राम है, आइए पार्टिसिपेट कीजिए।
नहीं, मैं तो 1 साल से स्ट्रगल कर रहा हूँ 18 वाट BLDC के साथ और 22 वाट इंडक्शन मोटर के साथ।
देखो, अगर आपके पास ऑलरेडी टेक्नोलॉजी है, सो आफ्टर दिस मीटिंग यू कैन कॉन्टैक्ट द मैन्युफैक्चरर्स।
आपको भी पता है, क्योंकि आप तो फर्स्ट इंटरेक्शन थे हमारे साथ। तो
Sir, just to reply your question, B is not a technology specific at all. We are technology neutral. So if you write to us, we cannot promote any technology. For us, 5-star energy efficient is the most important thing. Rather, if it is induction motor with more efficient, then B is ready to promote. And we will not talk about any specific technology. So my request to you, if you have induction motor with more efficiency than a BLDC motor, then I would like to IFMA just to see how you can promote this kind of technology. Because for BLDC, we have to import such kind of components from other countries. So if induction motor, we can attain that kind of efficiency, then we should promote.
Already BE is aware of that 5-star of induction motor, and still they have increased the price of BLDC motor. And they have
Sir, B never increased the price of any kind of fan, because we are not the manufacturers, and we cannot regulate the fan price. We
newspaper just to increase the percent of. So if you are implementing,
we never promote any technologies.
That's what they're
then
saying.
you cannot increase the price.
No, they're not. Okay, I think we've come to the end of time. So any questions that you have or anybody else in the audience have, please feel free to reach out to all the panelists during lunchtime, because we have another panel discussion after this, and we got to close this. Thank you so much for being here. It was a riveting discussion. Thank you so much to all the panelists for coming here and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you once again to all our eminent panelists. Thank you, Neha, for moderating this session. We thank all of you. It was indeed a very engaging and very insightful panel discussion. As a token of our gratitude, I would request Neha to kindly present a small token, a small memento to all our panelists. Thank you, Ms. Pravati Samal, for joining us. Thank you, Mr. Ashish Malviya. Thank you, Mr. Ravindra Gambhir. Thank you, Mr. Shashank Kumar, and thank you, Mr. Ashish Jindal. Thank you, Mr. Pramod Singh and Mr. Pradeep Kumar as well. Can I request all our panelists for a group photo, please? Thank you. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, moving forward, we'll move to our second panel discussion on various approaches for market transformation. The session would be moderated by Ms. Bansi Shukla from EESL. Our